Now let's take a look at the Selective Tone panel, and it's pretty self-explanatory again. Highlights, midtones, shadows, and blacks. And you use this in conjunction with the Smart Lighting panel. Now I'm going to turn this off, and then I'm going to turn on the Smart Lighting panel, and let's see what happens. And it doesn't really address the overexposure up here of the clouds. So we're going to turn this off, and really what I want to do is take a look at the histogram on this image, and we want to see if there are any blown out areas. And there are a couple of small areas that I think we can live with. Now, actually, the histogram and these indicators up here reflect a 250 threshold rather than 255 in terms of your dynamic range. So you've got a little bit of headroom in here. When you have little tiny areas like that, then you're probably going to be okay. Now, by way of comparison, if I do the next image and take a look at the blown out possibilities, you can see that there's a lot here that's completely unusable. In fact, let's just go ahead and demonstrate that to you. Let's go ahead and hit this, and then we'll take the selective tone, and I'll slam the highlights all the way back to as dark as it'll go, and you can see nothing is recovered up here. So we definitely have an image that is completely unusable in this particular case. So we're going to back off to here. Now, if I had my preference, and let me make sure, yes, I do have my image. If I had my preference between this image and this image, and you can obviously see nothing is blown out on this area up here. The image is somewhat underexposed, and if we come down here and boost the shadows, and on the computer screen that looks pretty good, and you would say to yourself, okay, let's move on and do something else. But, as I said before, anytime you brighten a dark area, you are increasing noise. And increasing noise is something that you don't want to do. Noise destroys your dynamic range. It destroys your sharpness. It destroys the very thing in the image which makes it attractive. So when you have a choice, choose the slightly overexposed image, which is right here, and work on that. Because when you darken a bright area of the image, you're not introducing noise. All right, so let's go ahead and bring this down and watch those areas disappear very quickly. And we can bring this down, and you can see the detail that is being recovered. So it's much easier to deal with a slightly overexposed image than it is to bring up an underexposed image. And so let's just go ahead and move these to show you what they do. There's midtones. Double click to return to 0. Here's shadows. And I guess if we really wanted to, we could bring out some more detail in these dark areas, but why agonize over that when you just don't need it? The image doesn't call for it. And then, of course, blacks. You might want to darken this a little bit, maybe to offer a little more contrast in the image, but that's a matter of taste. But the selective tone panel works very, very well to recover highlights so that you can improve your dynamic range. Now, in a perfect world, what I might do is come and get this image and also bring it down, maybe do a little bit of Clear View Plus, or maybe do it in Photoshop or Lightroom, just kind of see how that texture comes up in the clouds like that by just putting a little bit of the Clear View Plus. So these panels all work in conjunction. You adjust one and then go to the next one to see if you can build on what you've done. But the selective tone is a very good way to isolate different areas of your image for bringing out details in the bright area. So to summarize, lean towards adjusting a brighter image than a darker image when you use this panel. I think you'll get much, much better results. The other thing that happens is that the detail that's coming out of this rock right here also increases when we move this highlight slider over. You can see how that reacts right there. So there you have the selective tone panel in DxO PhotoLab.